And so basically, man has always had an appetite for adventure. He's always wanted to explore the stars, seek out new worlds, and to boldly go where no man has gone before. And science fiction, as a genre, fulfills this dream. People visiting the moon, seeing all manner of wonderful things, and meeting incredible beings. And science fiction became life as a literary genre, but it was its debut on American radio that made the biggest impact in broadcast terms. Annabelle.
Science fiction has been broadcast on radio for many years, but the most famous broadcast of this form was on October 30th, 1938. When Orson Welles and team at the Mercury Theatre shocked the nation with the famous broadcast of War of the Worlds, it created stories, press coverage, and national panic, despite having already performed such stories as the Count of Frisco and Dracula. So why did this broadcast cause so much attention and panic? Well, if you first look at the day before Halloween, this added to the impact towards the audience, who at that time believed they had heard from a trusted source, and believed that what they heard from the radio was a trusted source, and whatever they heard was true. When the programme was aired, it was the same time as the rival popular programme, The Charlie McCarthy Show, which at the moment when the singer came on, the audience was tuned into something else, which at that time was the World broadcast, but having missed the introduction, informing them that it was just a programme. The programme started with a normal structure and fitted into the norm of the radio at that time, but then the normality was interrupted to stage news flashes, and mums and dads panicked frantically and left home with their kids and worry of the invasion. Police stations and shops were bombarded with 50% of the American public streaming in, and thousands of local. In addition to a major mark in radio history, it also changed the drama format for future years, and spurred legislation to banning the news format from radio. Although Orson didn't intentionally expect this attention, he was thrilled to watch the story develop and become more popular. The script was actually titled The Invasion from Mars by the late Howard Koch. It was based on the Wells novella. The story was then repeated many times at this date, however, in a variety of different formats, and it was said that more than 25 different audio versions were repeated from October 30th, 1938. For example, 1955, the Lux Radio Theatre, who have been doing versions of Hollywood films since 1936, produced the story in an upbeat comedy style. In 1964, WPM Portland produced another version. In 1968, WKDW Buffalo interpreted it to modern day. In 1978, Jeff Wayne released a musical version, and in 1988, Other World Media celebrated its 50th anniversary. Many recordings of the War of the Worlds are in archives, many have been sadly lost through time. The radio has seen many iconic science fiction dramas, many taking their cue from Tolkien's comics, such as The Gibson Family, John's Other Wife, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, X-Men's One Chase, The Man Who Was Tomorrow, and Flash Gordon. Here is hopefully an extract from the first episode of Flash Gordon, debuted in 1935, titled The Planet Mongo.
Looks admiringly across the aisle at Dale Art, the lovely young companion of his airways. The minds of both are intent on the terrible destruction for many months as well as 13 years with
broadcasting, science fiction has steadily declined and was replaced by visual representations on television and film. Modern programs such as Doctor Who and Star Wars have shown this. Here is an extract of the Star Wars series in 1981, produced after the 1977 Star Wars movie by NPR and Lucasfilm. You died. By the epic by the epic broadcast, many codes and conventions are broken. Matt's going to talk about the codes and conventions of science fiction.
Enjoy. Good luck. Matt, ladies and gentlemen. So, I'm going to talk about the conventions
Now, I can look up conventions of science fiction, which doesn't mean a fat nerd dressed up as Batman. No, it's basically, what's in a science fiction? If you watch a science fiction, what are you going to see? So, one thing, space. So,
technical difficulty.
of course you're going to see space in most science fiction. If you watch something like Heroes, although it's not directly linked to space, it starts off with a total eclipse, which is trying to link it to space, something that happens once every 18 months, and basically they're trying to link the whole thing to space. They always contain aliens and planets, although if you look at something like Firefly, it contains planets, but at the same time it doesn't contain aliens, it uses humanoids. But then if you look at something like Star Trek, it uses home worlds, but yet also uses aliens, same as Doctor Who and other shows like that. Okay. Yeah, so Heroes uses phenomena and time travel.
Still some space, right?
Okay, the audience of science fiction has changed through time. The science fiction is about to coming out very sophisticated stuff, understanding parallel universes and aliens. You have to be educated about the universe and space to understand the theory behind science fiction. Therefore, science fiction is aimed at an older intellectual and understanding audience. Through time, many science fiction classics have remade or copied to make science fiction comedies and sketches. This opens the door to not so serious listeners and reaches a younger audience. The introduction from radio also widened the audience and created more time to listen to science fiction. With sound and visual effects allowing the genre to be a front runner in modern technology, allowed a younger audience to get involved. The science fiction has always reached a high audience, however, through time has become less of an older audience through use of effects and technology, attracting teenagers and children. Also has reduced the male domination of the genre with romance and female characters, paving the day for a change.
Yeah, there's an extract of the intro about Battlestar Galactica that was just disgusting, but Andy didn't have time to think out. So probably move on now to Heroes. Yeah, so Heroes is very much, phenomena, special abilities, using kind of time travel. Yeah, so time travel is a phenomena, which is kind of using things like a paradox and using scientific theory. Science fiction has always been used